morning, everyone, and welcome to the third week of the Marguerite Miller Collage Weekly Planner. I am ready on the most part to go, I think. Just grab my supplies out of the back here. It's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So, let's get started. Let me just move a couple things around here. So, this week's prompts are something fast. Let me just grab this stuff as I go, maybe. So make sure I've got everything. So I have this snippet of an old car. It's a really old image. It says Mrs. Trout and Mrs. Pink and Boys, and it's like a really old photograph that I got out of an old scrapbook from an estate auction, and you can see two women and a bunch of flowers inside this old car. And so that's my something fast, even though maybe back then those cars weren't that fast. But then lace, I've got a bunch of lace off to the side of my desk that I'll decide what I want to use when I get there. A game piece. This is out of a book on like antique games and toys, and this is wooden Keno cards and goose and balls. And so I think I may make use of those Keno cards and potentially this little glass of the balls. We'll see. Ledger paper. So I've got a little snippet here of ledger paper I grabbed from my scraps. Text in a foreign language. So I don't know how particularly foreign it is, but it's not English, it's French. And so I grabbed this. I have all sorts of different languages from around the world in my stash here. So if I do need something else, I can grab it. And then the bonus was something lavender. And so I've got this lavender page with these little bees. And so I may try to get that worked in there somewhere. So it is the beginning of another week, and we're starting the day today with a snowstorm, a really big snowstorm. So I am probably mostly staying inside, not entirely, but right now the roads are quite slippery. My husband went to work this morning. He works a really early morning job, and yeah, the roads were not really plowed yet like they sort of were, but still I think people get into like complete like shell shock or something when there's a lot of snow, even though it's kind of normal for January to get a lot of snow. But yeah, there were a lot of cars that were sort of in the ditches and things and stuck on and off ramps. So he was able to thankfully navigate through it. I don't really like him driving in this, or anyone driving in it really. Everyone could just stay home, but his job is one that requires him to be there, unfortunately. Okay, so we'll get this down. I'm going to use just the other bit of it right over here. Why not? Then I think I will also build up the background with something else under here. Let me just grab my scraps. Thinking maybe a little bit of this gold. I've got this gold paper. It's just some vintage wrapping paper. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that and make use of it. Just because I think the gold will go nice with that butterfly. Actually, let me get rid of this glue page. Yeah, but I didn't have a very exciting weekend because it was just very cold. It's been an extremely cold snap here, and we have been sort of hibernating a little bit. I went out on Saturday. We went for a drive to a nearby town to pick up an estate auction, and we found a really nice little local sandwich place, so that was fun. And yeah, other than that, we just kind of stuck around the house, and I got my mind on a few projects that I want to do in this studio, actually, to kind of change things around a bit. I've been doing a lot of kind of background tidying up and downsizing and things. If you didn't see, I'm actually having a massive studio clear out kind of sale in my Etsy shop. Everything in my Etsy shop is 30% off. That includes digitals, journals, yarn, other things that I make, pin cushions and jewelry, and anything I make. Everything that I have is in there right now, and it is all 30% off. So yeah, if you haven't had a look at my Etsy shop, you can find the link below in the description box, but I'm Studioloo on Etsy as well, because I'm just like, I feel like there's some things that I have still that I've kind of made my peace with, and they can go for, I can pass on the love a little bit with giving a bit of a cut in the price, just because I think sometimes clearing the cobwebs a little bit is good for your brain. You can actually get a lot more done when you don't feel like things are just being a little stagnant. At least that's my experience. I always feel that way whenever I have I get to do a show in person, like an art show or a craft show, because then you actually get to sell a lot of stuff. You come home a lot later, and you just kind of feel re-inspired to work. And maybe if you're lucky, you've seen some other vendors that sell supplies that will fuel your next adventure, kind of. That's always my experience. Oops. A little bit too much glue there. Other than that, this morning I woke up early and made some coffee and watched the latest episode of The Physicist Farm Gal. I really like her. I think she's really entertaining, and yeah, it was fun. I like her channel because she's a nice blend of like all sorts of different crafting as well as some science, and I like her take on things. So let's just cut these Kino cards out. And we're doing the Art Gallery of Ontario online school mornings with my daughter, and she seems to be enjoying that. Today she's studying a little bit about the 5 senses with her teacher, with her instructor, so that's kind of fun. And she was drawing some flowers and stuff. She's been doing a lot of really funny things lately. She's really into the concept of like being an inventor or a scientist. So all around my house are all these little like Rube Goldberg type machines, like all these little things that she's been kind of like inventing. And so she's created this interesting pulley system. So we have these hooks on my mantle in my living room, and they're used at Christmas time primarily to hang up our stockings. And so she's using these hooks with her skipping rope. One end she's tied to this, like, she calls it her sad dog, and it's like this stuffed basset hound, and so it's got the droopy eyes and the big floppy ears. So she has that, and then she stuffed a couple of toys, one of which is this hilarious, it's a little stuffed man with suspenders and these really high-waisted pants, and I bought him years ago. He has glasses because literally he looks like my husband. When my husband used to have a shaved head, he no longer does. He has long hair now. But yeah, I bought this years ago, and I used to call it Tiny Mike because that's my husband's name. And now it's turned into my daughter calling it Little Tiny Dada. So she stuck this Little Tiny Dada toy underneath the one ear of the dog, and so she's got this elaborate pulley system tied around the dog, and she'll stand on the back of the couch and pull the skipping rope, and it will hoist the skipping rope on the hook with these stuffed animals on it. So it's like her whole pulley system situation. And like all around my house there's funny things like this, like pipe cleaners that have like beads on them sticking out of a door jamb. Like she just goes through the house and like stops here and there and just like does these hilarious like projects. I don't know, it's very funny to me. Okay, I'm just trying to decide if there's anything else I want to include from this. I don't necessarily think so. Maybe some of these, some of this text. Maybe first roll free would be kind of cool. This is just a page out of an old book from a book series that I got in an auction that like had mostly kind of unpleasant content in it. I forget the name of it, but it's like a series on like the miners, the pioneers, the fishermen, like all these different kind of the way that people lived, you know, during a certain time. And most of it is kind of terrible. I don't know. I don't know if I actually even want that there. I think I just like this as is. It doesn't always have to be complex, right? So I think I like it as it is, but I might add like a little bit of a book spine or something up here and potentially some words or something on top. Yeah, let's add this down. It just needs a little more character, I think, to be kind of a finished collage. And then, oh, we forgot lace. Goodness, I almost completely blanked out. Well, that's what I will use. Actually, I'm not going to use that lace. I'm going to use, I have another tea-dyed lace here that I had my eye on for this, and it's just this little piece here. Maybe that's what I'll put across the top right there. Yeah. All right, let's do that with some Fabri-Tac. And I need to refill my Fabri-Tac bottle as usual. I did refill my art glitter glue, but one day I'll have all these full bottles of glue. I always forget until it's like, okay, there is no more glue now. You have to do this. Because I get distracted doing other things. Okay. It's looking like it's going to shape up to be a busy work week for me. So I'll do my best to get as many videos out as I can, but no promises there. All right. Yeah, and that actually really brought it together. Good, good. Okay, so I actually think that that's it for me. Honeycomb. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to use. I think that that is finished. So thank you so much for this this time you've spent with me on our little Margaret Miller week. So here is week 3 all finished up. I hope you enjoyed this little collage. Here's a little close-up of the picture and everything here. So thanks so much and have a great day. Bye for now.